the Fantasy Kingdom. I am your host, Mikey. And riding with me, as always, upstairs is Tommy. What's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Are you ready? Are you back? Fantasy football, we missed out last week. A couple complications, but we are back.
Some technical difficulties. And then down in the basement, Howie, how you doing, brother? You all set up
Good.
today? Ready to go?
Oh yeah, all set up. The spa's here. We got it all set up. You and Jason came over and hooked her up for me.
Yeah, nice.
I'm just learning how to get in and out of it without breaking my ass.
Right on. All right, so we'll kick off with some league news. We had the Ravens-Bucks Thursday night matchup. I will say it was actually a good first half. The second half, the Bucks just fell apart. They just don't look right. Tommy, did you get a chance to watch this game? And if you did,
I was at work, but I get to watch. The game's playing. And I text you actually. I'm like, damn, I thought I picked the Bucks to win at home. I figured they'd bounce out of their slump eventually. But no, man, they're just something's not right there on both sides of the ball, really. And there's a lot that went on. Think about it. New coach, right? Yeah. Is the coach just not working out? Is it Brady finally is showing his age? Is it the offensive line that bad? Like, there just a lot of things to factor in when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But by the way, Brady got his divorce official yesterday. Yep. So very curious. Did Brady come back because he knew they were getting divorced? He's like, you know what? F you, I'm gonna go back, which is very possible. Yeah. Or did he come back and then he caused more friction and then they got we never will know, and I'm sure he won't it. Yeah. However, I'm sure you'll see a book later in the future.
Well, if the divorce is final, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot longer than we know about.
I'm wondering if he wanted to. Maybe he was doing it for her, and then after it just couldn't be, fixed. He's like, all right, screw it. I got nothing else to do. I'm going to go back and play football. I mean, very possible. So is his heart totally in it? I mean, he looks like, I'm not saying it's not, but it just seems like he's frustrated on all.
He's throwing a ton of dirt.
It seems like he's frustrated. Yeah, missing. But some of his passes are there. His teammates making mistakes as well. So I don't know. I just think overall, man, I think it's just a bad year for the Bucs.
Right.
I just think everything's not going right. Like, everything's kind of falling apart in Tampa. And it started, I'll tell you, I think it started with the coach leaving or retiring suddenly, and then this new coach taking over, and then Brady coming back after retirement. All that crap factored, and then Gronkowski didn't come back either, right? And then your offensive line guy got hurt, the one guy that was there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like it's like a domino effect, right? So it's like
the second string center got hurt, and I think they're on the third string now. The tackle's been in and out. It's just been a rotating door. He just I think he's gotten hit more this year than he ever has, and it's just taking a toll on him.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. But they're stuck in limbo, man. I'll tell you what, though, for as bad as the NFC's been, though, they still have an opportunity.
Well,
it's not like they're way off.
They're game out. That's
it. Division's in disarray. What is it? Carolina's in first place, right?
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, I think so.
Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's in first place.
Atlanta.
Yeah. That tells you something about that division this year. It's like
same difference.
Nobody wants it. It's a hot potato.
Nobody, and the whole NFC, it sees to be that way. Like in the West, no one seems to want to get right.
But if Atlanta loses, Tampa goes right back up. And 3-5, first place.
Right?
That's wild, bro.
We were talking about this on Monday night. The NFC, all those big time teams, really it's across the NFL, all those favorite teams aren't doing well. We have the AFC West, who is supposed to be this elite conference.
Juggernaut. If you win, 10 win teams.
They're all going to beat up on each other. One of them's going to be left out. Like outside of Kansas City, they all look like they're going to miss the playoffs
again.
Right. Or a bad team's going to make the playoffs. Yeah. One of the bad teams.
The Colts are supposed to be this elite team with Matt Ryan. They've now benched him for the season and going with Sam Ellinger.
And they're only one game behind. It's not even like Right.
You know,
like they're out. It's weird.
Yep. And then you have the Rams and you have the Niners and you know, but then you have these teams out of nowhere. The Giants 6-1, the Jets 5-2, Seattle. Man, does freaking Pete Carroll look like a genius for getting off of a broke down Russell Wilson and going with a gunslinger and Geno Smith who's putting up career years. So, you know, it is what it is. But Howie, I was going to ask you about the Ravens. Do you think they're starting to get right now, or do you still see them as the middle of the tier backs?
I still think them as a middle tier. You know, they got Drake and Dobbins is hurt, which I love. Yeah, I don't. You know, they just don't have a good receiving core. First of all, you know, and their tight end just got hurt. He might not play this weekend.
Isaiah Likely looked good.
Yeah. Well, he was really good in preseason, and then he disappeared. Of course, well, you know,
like most people do.
And now he's got his shot. So
yeah,
if he's going to make some money in the future, now's the time to do it. You know.
All right. What's going on, Scott? Okay, so we got a question that's come in about fantasy. It says Damian Pierce or Pollard at flex. He has CD, TJ Hawk, and St. Brown starting, so didn't know if he wanted to start 2 Lions or 2 Cowboys. We'll start with Howie. Who would you go with?
I would go with
or Pollard?
I would go with Pollard. Pollard. Zeke's out today, and who's Dallas playing? God dang it! I just went blank.
Dallas?
They're playing. I know they're playing against somebody who just allows all kinds of running.
Okay.
Isn't it Detroit, right?
No.
Who are they playing?
Let me go to the schedule. Hold on.
Well, now I feel stupid.
Let me go to the schedule. Hold on.
Of course, neither one of you guys have it, so I don't feel that stupid.
The Cowboys are playing the Bears.
Oh yeah, run
at home
over them. And Pollard, I started Pollard this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. Houston's playing the Titans. The Titans have a good D line. So I would probably go Pollard too. Tommy, your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, Pollard's been good. Like he's been better than Ezekiel and Elliott's out. So now you don't even have now you don't even have to split carries. It's going to be mainly Pollard. And I think you can see Dak still working himself back. So they're still going to lean on the running game a little bit more. Definitely Pollard. Definitely Pollard on this one.
So we're starting Pollard. I have 2 Cowboys and 2 Lions in my lineup. Is that okay? Makes me nervous. No, that's fine. The 2 Cowboys that you have are the 2 main weapons in Pollard and in CD. And the 2 Lions you have are 2 of their main weapons. I mean, granted, Swift is back this week, but
that's a
Hawk
big
and Hawk and St. Brown will actually see less coverage, knowing that they have to crowd the line because DeAndre's back. So having 2 Lions and 2 Cowboys isn't that big a deal. And also, you have to look at the matchups. The Lions are playing a depleted Dolphins team, and that secondary, they still don't have any of their guys back. X is still out. Jones is still out.
Yep.
You know, they just lost their safety, their other safety last week. So, you know, going with the 2 Lions in the receiving core isn't a bad thing.
No, I like it.
Yeah, I think you're okay there.
Yeah, unless of course, golf is golf, and then you're in some trouble because golf is so he can have games where he 400 yards, man, 3-4 touchdowns, but he also has games where it's 0 touchdowns, and he just looks terrible. So, but to Mikey's point, the Dolphins are a little beat up on the outside there, so. Those are 2 guys that are going to be weapons for Goff in the passing game. Hawkinson is his main weapon, really, that he goes to a lot. And St. Brown, hopefully, because he came back last week and he got a concussion. And he didn't look good to start either before the concussion. So hopefully he bounces back and has a better game. But he's a good receiver.
You know who's sneaky good on that team is that Reynolds kid. I think you
Josh
picked
Reynolds.
him.
Yeah, I had him.
Yeah.
I dropped him because I had too many. I had no choice, but yeah.
Yeah, too many. Yeah. So, first we appreciate the sub. Second, I know it's tough to sit Pierce, but when you have to look at the matchup, knowing that Brandon Cooks is questionable to play, there goes their main receiver from their passing game. So, they're playing a Titans team who has a really good defense, who's been playing better and better recently. So when you look at that way, although it is hard to sit Pierce, he doesn't have the best matchup. They're going to play the run, knowing that they're going to dare somebody else to beat them in the pass without Cook.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yep.
just a thought, and we do appreciate the sub. Okay, so let's read my damn chat. Need direction. Okay, let's see what Scott said.
He said, I thought I saw something about the hot pepper.
Headed to the supermarket, and your shows finally made me remember to pick up hot pepper. We don't need what type of pepper that doesn't kill him, Howie. He needs to know.
Just a jalapeno. You can even cut it open and take the seeds out and shave the membrane out. It'll be like a bell pepper. I just eat them like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. I hate spicy shit, bro. I can't do that.
But I can't go any
That's
lower.
why
I can't go any lower, or else it's not a hot pepper. You know, you can't cheat with a bell pepper or some sweet pepper. You know, it's got to be something that causes you a little bit of misery.
Yeah, so I would go with the that pepper, and then cut it open and take out the seeds and the membrane, and then you still get a little bit of heat, but it doesn't really kick your butt.
And if you're a real puss, you can put some cream cheese on it, and
the mild that thing down.
Right. Have a glass of chocolate milk handy. You know?
There you go. It's not going to be that hot. It's really not. You know.
Yeah.
And if you get a red one, it's even sweeter. It's not hotter.
Okay, there you go. Red.
There you go.
There you go, Scott. How I was giving it to you. All right, so bye weeks this week. We have two teams on byes. We have the Chiefs and the Chargers. Both have a lot of fantasy relevance, obviously. So for those that don't, this is for you, Howie. He says he's sorry it took him so long. He's doing it today. And he'll send your email. Not a push, just reality.
I believe you. I believe you. You're an honorable guy. You come on here. You're like one of our only fans. So hell, I'm not gonna.
Scott's loyal to the channel. We appreciate it. Injuries. Breece Hall done for the year, but they replaced him with James Robinson from the Jags. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in with Michael Carter with the Jets. Jamar Chase out 4 to 6 weeks with a hip. Knowing where they're at in the standings and they're battling, it'll be interesting to see where they're at when he comes back, to see if they try to bring him back sooner or if they let him fully recover. Deebo Samuel out this week. Possibility he'll be back next week, but there's no guarantee. They're playing the Rams, so Brandon Ayuk, it will be a fantastic idea as a replacement, or Jennings.
He's been averaging like 11 catches a game. Ayuk has.
And they just got CMC, and then expect Kittle to be a bigger part this week from a passing perspective. Also, that Jennings kid is one of those kids that could be sneaky good this week. Because I imagine Ramsey's going to be tied up on Ayuk. And then obviously J.K. Dobbins is still out. That there's a mess in the backfield in Baltimore. You never know, because Gus Edwards came back and then he got hurt. So they went back to Drake. I mean, it's a mess there in Baltimore. I wouldn't advise anybody having any of those running backs. All right, got another question that comes in from Trey. Colts defense versus Washington, or the Patriots defense versus the Jets?
That's a tough one.
Ooh,
for me. That's a tough one for me.
Howie, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Heineke is quarterbacking for Washington right now. Colts defense.
Okay. While you're thinking
I would go Patriots versus the Jets.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a tougher game because it's in
New Jersey.
It's interdivisional too.
Yeah, it's and the Patriots seem to have the Jets number. So I would also go with the Patriots, and for the reason of Belichick was just humiliated on Monday Night Football, and he usually bounces back. And he owns the Jets. They lost Breece Hall, which has been 90% of their offense. Belichick Belichick's going to scheme up a way to stop the run and make Zach Wilson beat him, and I don't trust Zach Wilson at all.
Right. And I think that's Carter, really.
Yeah. And honestly, I think Washington's better with Hinkie than they are with Wentz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's close.
The Colts have been
it's close.
Terrible.
Yeah. They're both terrible, but yeah.
Yeah. That's tough for me, man, just because the Jets have been so,
I mean, they haven't been blowing people out.
The thing with the Jets, they're scrappy, but the thing with the Jets that is leaning me towards the Patriots defense is I don't trust the quarterback at all for the Jets. I don't like him. I just don't. I don't think he's going to pan out. Even on this winning streak that they've been doing, his numbers aren't that good, right? Like it's not like he's killing it. He makes terrible decisions at times, which means turnovers, which means points. But the Colts are at home. They're fighting for that, potential playoff because they're still in it. They're only one game out of first. Washington, just like Heineke, he makes some bad choices too, man. I'll tell you what, man. This is a toss-up for me.
I trust Belichick.
I do. Yes, I agree with that. I was leaning maybe towards the Colts, but just because I just do not like Zach
Wilson. There's still no Shaq Leonard. Shaq Leonard's still out.
They got it right, and Breece Hall's not there either. Right, It's going to be Robinson. How is he going to fit in the system? However, I do like their other running back, Michael Carter. Yeah, but I'm gonna go Patriots. I'm gonna go Patriots here just because Zach Wilson he just makes terrible decisions, and Bill Belichick wouldn't know how to scheme against them.
I'll tell you,
but Patriots didn't look too hot last week. If you picked the Patriots defense last week, which I thought I would have, over the Bears,
I picked up the Patriots defense this week. Belichick doesn't seem to get coming off a loss like that. He's in their face this week. You know how Belichick is. I expect
you would hope. You would expect
the
right.
Interdivisional game. I would go Patriots, but go with your gut. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Scott, Patriots because I want the Jets to lose. True Bills fan there. Okay, moving on. We'll go to our key matchups this week. Dolphins at Lions. The Dolphins have Tua, Hill, Waddle, Gesicki in the defense, which the defense is banged up, versus Goff, Swift, St. Brown, and Hawkinson. How do you see this going? And I'll start with Tommy. When we look at these two, what are you expecting from this? Are you expecting fireworks because neither defense is great? What are you expecting?
Man, we talked about this yesterday with Curtis, me and Curtis from Ace Per Head. He's a Dolphins fan. He thinks the Lions have a chance, but man, the Lions defense is so bad this year, so bad. And listen, you still got Hill, you still got Waddle over there, deadly weapons.
Gesicki.
Gesicki. Tua for what he is, he's still playing okay. He's a decent quarterback. He's going to give him the ball as accurate. The only way the Lions have an opportunity is their offense really gets going. They got to get going for any chance. And then it could be a shootout. And you're talking about potentially like a week 1 Lions-Eagles game.
Yeah.
Where it was a back and forth type of deal. One team gets down by 10. Then the Lions storm back. They're down by 3. Like you could see that late in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll tell you what, offensively, hell yeah. I wouldn't mind any. I'm telling you. Waddle, Hill, even Tua, honestly. And then on the flip side, I wouldn't mind all their guys too. The running back over there, the receivers, but their defenses, I want to trust either one. So if you got their defenses, I want to start either one of them.
Yeah. So Howie,
I meant Swift. Yeah.
So Howie, looking at this this game, what are you expecting? Are you expecting the fireworks as well? Or are you leaning towards one player over the other?
Well, everybody's expecting a lot of points, but last week Tua had four possible interceptions dropped.
Yeah.
So he's got a gun on him, and Pittsburgh's not that good of a defense. You know, I mean, Detroit's not either, but you know what? I'm gonna pick the Lions to win this one.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
not going to
like
be
it.
it's not going to be a defensive game. And if
That'd be
Tua
wild.
throws
That'd be awesome.
interceptions, it's
Yeah.
not going to be wonderful interceptions that their defense picked off. It's
As
going to
a-
be like, oops, here I go.
Yeah,
I
as a
would
Bills
feel-
fan, I would
Yeah.
love that.
I would feel super bad for my buddy Captain D, who's visiting Detroit. All right, for anyone who
To
knows
watch this
Captain
game.
D, yeah, he's in Detroit on vacation. He's going to the game.
Oh,
And you can imagine, never been here. And he goes to the game and they lose to the Lions. I would feel so
that'd
bad
be
for him.
beautiful. That'd
I
be
would love it. I would love it, but I feel bad for
beautiful.
him, you know.
Yes, I love this, guys. Yes, Scott likes your forecast there, Howie.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. We
one
got,
fan. That's good.
yeah, we got Cards at Vikings. We got Murray, D-Hop's back, Ertz, and Anderson because Hollywood's still out. Versus Stafford, Cup, Robinson, Van Jefferson returns, and their defense. I'm sorry. I said Vikings. We have Cup, Cook, Jefferson, and Thielen. And then obviously Irv Smith Jr. and a couple other little throw-ins. So when we're looking at the cards we're at Vikings, what are you expecting from this? Are you expecting fireworks here as well, Howie? Or are you expecting more of a one-sided show? Because you never know what you get from the Cardinals.
I actually think it's going to be a pretty, not like I think the score is going to be in the 30s for both teams. I like Irv Smith in this game because Cards give up a lot to tight ends and they give a lot up to quarterbacks. So Cousins and Smith are going to be great. D-Hop, he's going to get his. Ertz is going to get some. And then Eno's my hot chili pepper challenge this week. So.
Oh, okay. Little Benjamin action this
week.
Little
more on that later, yeah.
All right. Tommy, from your side, are you expecting fireworks here?
Why don't you calm the fuck down? I'm guessing you got that reference?
Yeah, that was the Kyle Murray.
Okay.
To the coach.
He's like, whoa.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, me calm down.
Calm the fuck down.
God, if I calm down anymore, I'll be in coma.
He did say that a couple times too as he's going to the sideline. And he was animated.
Yeah. But hey, Kyle Murray's on my fantasy team. I had to pick him up, and I hope with the return of Hopkins that his numbers go a little higher than they are. But they're not terrible. I think he's like in the. They were, and they looked okay. So, Arizona is one of those teams too, man. They stick with you. They stick with you a little bit. They really get out when they lose. Minnesota is they're what are they 5-1 I believe or 6-1, 5-1. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know if their record is as good as that team is. I'll be honest with you. I know they're 5-1, but I don't. It's like the Giants to me.
But they punted 10 times against the Dolphins, and they still won that game. They punted 10 times and still won that game.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I'm gonna go Arizona on this for some reason. I think Arizona. I think with the return of Hopkins, I like the weapons better. And this is week 2 for Hopkins, so he's gonna get a little bit more. Now he's knocking that rust off, right? And it's not like he looked terrible his first game back, right? So you watch when Hopkins kind of gets going, he's very dangerous. So yeah, and Arizona's defense is not bad either, man. They're scrappy too, man. So I'm gonna go Arizona on this. I think they have bigger weapons that can get some like Hopkins. I think you're gonna see some more points from Ertz, and then also Murray. Murray's points are gonna start stacking up now that his prime receiver's back. That'd be like us losing Diggs. I'm just saying. Yeah. That's a main guy. You lose a main
Allen's
target.
Better than Murray, and he'd still figure it out.
No, he would figure it out. But my point is, right. You got it. I get D-Hop is a beast. Touchdown beast too, by the way.
Yeah,
red zone threat like a motherfucker.
He is. I love the Cousins to Jefferson. That seems to be like an every week thing. Cook hasn't taken off yet. He's been subpar. Average.
He's had his games. Yeah, he's had his games.
He's had a couple,
looked all right.
But it doesn't seem to be clicking yet. What?
He's getting ready.
He's getting ready.
Second
Yeah,
half of the season.
because you just traded for him.
I thought it was a good trade.
It was a very fair trade. Ultimately, I don't trust Cousins at all. So I would lean more towards the Cards here as well.
Yeah. Cousins is
Troy.
so hit or miss. Cousins has big. Yeah, I appreciate it, Troy. Cousins is like he has his games too, man. Like we were talking about earlier. I forget who we were talking about, but like golf kind of. Yeah. He's better than golf, but he has his games where it's like, damn, Cousins looks like unstoppable. And then he has games where it's like, what the hell is he doing? So Cousins hit or miss, man, for me. But that's his career. Been like that forever.
Yeah. At least it's not a primetime game because he really struggles on primetime.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
It's more of I think it's like a 4:25 game. I think because they're the afternoon on the West Coast. So
how you like that?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How do you like that? You won one primetime game, brother. How do you like that?
I've got him and Ertz starting. So yeah, I got two guys in that game. I love it.
Bills 1970. Did you have the little bell clicked? That's
yeah, man. You gotta hit that notification bell and hit all. We always forget to say it. So you want to say it now, Mikey? Get that over with.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, and get the notification. It helps our channel. That's the best way to support us.
Yes,
is to get us out there. So we do appreciate you.
Yes.
All right, so we're moving on.
And check Twitter. If you have Twitter, add me or add Mikey. All right, right there. If you look below, right
here,
Tommy
right
Talks
here.
Bills Apex 006.
Right here.
Yep.
Straight down.
I always promote the show. Whatever show's coming on Mafia Sports Report, you will always catch that on Twitter. I will always promote it. Usually 2 times during that day. So just check me out over there. Add me.
Yep.
Or add Mikey.
Niners at Rams. We have McCaffrey, Kittles, Ayuk, Jennings, and the defense, who's starting to get healthier for the 49ers finally. No Deebo Samuel, which is a big loss for the 49ers. He's about 35 to 40% of their offense.
Give me your bike, punk.
Yeah, right. Versus Stafford, Robinson, Jefferson, and the defense. So we'll start with Howie. Howie, when you're looking here, what's your expectation? These two seem to play, I mean, McVay grew up under the Shanahans, and that's where he learned. So they always seem to have a good battle, and Shanahan usually comes out on top. What's your expectation in this game?
I think the Rams are a train wreck this year. They don't have an offensive line. They got Kupp that they're throwing to. Robinson, who should be great, but he hasn't done nothing. They got no running game. And with the part about Deebo not being there, I don't think it's going to affect them at all today because they're going to have the McCaffrey factor and then Ayuk sliding in there. I think the Niners are going to crush them.
Oh, Niners are going to crush them. Tommy.
Well, by a touchdown or maybe 10 points.
It's not going to put a 40 burger on them?
It's not going to be pretty for the Rams.
Okay.
I don't think.
All right. Tommy, what's your take on the 49ers Rams game? What are you expecting here?
Jimmy G's not looking good either, though. I got to tell you. I mean, he's looking okay, but he's definitely lost a major step. And I don't know and it's weird. He should want to be playing better because he ain't going to be the 49ers quarterback next season. I don't think. They're really hoping Lance is the guy, which I don't think Lance is the guy either, just a heads up. But interesting. Rams are just not looking good either. It seems like, listen, I'm going to tell you, most Super Bowl teams the following season don't usually go back or don't look good.
Yeah.
Or struggle. It's been like that forever. Very few teams look good the following season, right? Like the Cowboys did it, right? The Patriots usually. But other than that, look at Philly, right? The Eagles.
They won the Super Bowl and they didn't do anything for like 4 years.
Exactly. So it happens a lot, right? So I think that's what's going on with the Rams, man. I think they went all in last season, and it is what it is. They got the Super Bowl, but Matthew Stafford's also another season getting there, right? And he makes a lot of mistakes too. But the four, that's a tough. Where are they at? LA?
They're in LA.
I'm going to go 49ers just because it's the second game for CMC. So he's probably got the playbook, a little bit more going on with the playbook, right? Because week one, there's no way they probably gave him very minimal. He probably knew just enough to get on the field. So I would assume that he knows a little bit more of the playbook now. So you're going to see him more involved. Even though Debo's out, what's his name? Ayuku or whatever.
Ayuk,
yeah,
Jennings.
He is a target machine. Jimmy G likes throwing him a lot. Jennings, Kittle. I expect Kittle to finally get more involved because he's kind of been quiet a little early on.
He's been more in the run game,
more blocking.
Yeah,
exactly. So I expect him now with CMC there to get maybe a little bit more involved. So I'm going to go 49ers on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 49ers on this. Even in LA, because even in LA, it seems like they don't play right. Like they don't like home field. Is it really home field? Like for them, they have
neither
not.
for them nor the Chargers.
No,
right.
Neither
Even
one of
the
them have
Chargers.
a home field.
Yeah, it just seems like they're whatever. Like so I'm gonna go 49ers on this, and plus 49ers. I think they really need this. They do.
Yeah. Howie, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, with the Garoppolo not doing as well as you'd like, Tommy. I think with CMC there, he's going to be able to dink and dunk a little bit more. He'll have that safety valve.
Exactly.
He hasn't really had that with his other running backs. Where
neither.
Every play he could, if it doesn't work out, boom, he's got him right over here.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a massive upgrade from Jeff Wilson Jr. and Elijah Mitchell.
As long as he stays healthy. Like same
that's always the question mark with McCaffrey.
Right.
All right. I love Kupp. I think Stafford and Kupp was going to go off. Van Jefferson returning could help, but he doesn't have a whole lot of time. That offensive line is so bad; it gives him zero time. I think they could be better if they would just find a way to fix that O line. That left tackle that replaced Whitworth has been hot garbage this year. So. Oh, we got another question that comes in from Big Money Joe. 8-man PPR need tight end. Pitts, Schultz, Hurts, Gesicki, Irv, Henry, Ingram, Knox, and so on.
Out of one of those guys, he's trying to pick up.
Hurst or Irv? Wait, Irv? That's Irv Smith.
Yeah, Irv Smith. Irv Smith.
I like Irv Smith or Hurst.
No on Ingram.
I would
Cincinnati, right?
Schultz is banged up, so I don't think you'll see much of him. Yeah. Ingram is lost in Jacksonville, so you don't want him. Knox has been more of a run blocker than a pass catcher, even though he finally broke out in his last game against KC. I would look at Gesicki, Irv, or Pitts.
I would go Gesicki. Out of all those guys, he would be my first selection. If you had the selection to go, especially against the Lions defense.
If it's just for this week, yes, Gesicki. If it's long term for the rest of the season, I'd probably go Pitts because
you're right.
London as the two main.
I agree with that. Depending on if this is just week, I'll go with Mike on that. Pitts, if you're talking season wise or whatever, but if you're talking about this week, I go Gesicki.
Gesicki with the matchup this week is great.
Dude. Now, Hurst
I mean, he can have multiple touchdowns.
Right?
Yeah. What?
Hurst is on Cincinnati, right?
Hurst, yes.
I like him,
but he's banged up and he's questionable this week.
Yeah. Well, if he plays, either him or Irv Smith. I think Irv Smith's going to have a really good week just because of the Cardinals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's looking just this week. If you're looking long term, I would definitely look at Pitts. Or or one of those guys, because Pitts only has two main weapons there in Atlanta. It's Drake London and him. That's it.
Until Patterson gets back, which is until another 4 weeks or so. I think. Yeah.
Another question: 8-man PPR need 2 receivers. He has Metcalf and Lockett, Sutton. He just picked up DJ Moore and Boyd. Boyd is a fantastic pickup. DJ Moore seems to play better. DJ Moore seems to be playing better with Walker as the quarterback than he did with Mayfield. DJ Moore had 3 straight 1,200-yard receiving years with subpar quarterbacks. They bring in Baker Mayfield, and once again, he doesn't know how to throw to a wide receiver. Same issue he had in Cleveland with Odell Beckham Jr. It wasn't a Beckham Jr. issue. It was a Mayfield issue. Mayfield's just not good. So I like those two as a replacement because Metcalf is going to be out for a couple weeks with the ankle. Lockett has been banged up as well. If he goes, I'm not sure I would go Lockett this week because the Giants have a good defense. I would probably go DJ Moore and Boyd this week.
100% Boyd.
Yeah.
100% Boyd. I got lucky. I got Boyd in my fantasy. I picked him up. I'm like, yo, he's sitting there. I needed him, and he was huge last week. And that was with Chase playing.
Yeah.
Boyd for sure. It's going to be Boyd and Higgins. And Boyd, man, I'm telling you, man, that dude can play. He's a touchdown guy. He has breakaway speed. And DJ Moore, to Mikey's point, man, he's been a solid receiver.
Yeah.
Until he got with a quarterback that didn't know what the hell he's doing. Apparently, a first pick in the draft. He doesn't know how to throw. I guess.
There's no okay.
I'm not saying he's. Listen, it's weird. I will say this. I'm not saying Baker's the worst ever. He's okay. He's all right, but he's going to be floating around this league, in my opinion.
He'll be a backup.
He will be a backup. He will be a floater. He will be a guy that maybe comes in for an injured quarterback, right? Play 6 games and maybe get lucky, get a contract again, and then once again stink it up and go back. He's going to be a floater. He's going to be a Carson Wentz. Oh,
he's going to be a poor man's Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Shit, Fitzpatrick's better than him. Fitzpatrick's better than him.
Yeah, that's what I say. He's going to be a poor man's Fitzpatrick. Howie, here, who are you looking at? What two would you go with?
Oh, just looking at my notes, I'd go with DJ Moore and Boyd right now. I don't like Sutton. He just hadn't done anything this year. And like you said, Metcalf's down and Lockett's banged up. So if these are the guys you got, go with Moore and Boyd.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Sutton. Until Wilson shows me something, I'm going with Moore and Boyd because PJ Walker showed last week he's going to throw to Moore.
Yeah, they got a good rapport.
Yeah,
I think that's part of who were we just talking about? The quarterback,
Yeah, Mayfield.
Maybe I think that's his problem. I don't think he has good rapport with his teams. He's doing commercials. He's, number one pick.
He's more about himself than
is he doing commercials anymore?
I don't even know. Probably local car dealerships.
I haven't seen one for a minute. I used to see the State Farm ones all the time.
He was everywhere, but I think that took away from him in the ball club. He
was not.
I'm sure his endorsements are dropping.
Big money. We appreciate the subscription, brother. We'll be here every Saturday. Walter comes in and asks, trade Eno and Dante for CD Lamb. No. Absolutely, you trade Eno Benjamin and Deontay Johnson for CD Lamb. If you're getting CD, you make the deal. If you're not, then no.
Yeah, all day.
Why would you say no, Howie? Eno's only there until Connor comes back, and Deontay is.
Well, I think Eno's going to supplant Connor, but. CD's got the biggest upside.
Yeah, this is Cliff Kingsbury. He doesn't do anything normal. It doesn't, regardless of how good Eno plays. When Connor comes back, they're going to stick him back in there. This is just the way that they run. So if you have a chance to get CD, take it.
Yeah.
Yes, Big Money Joe, throw more to more. And I bet you PJ Walker will.
He will.
He knows where his money.
And with Anderson and CMC leaving, he's got Donta Foreman. I don't even know how he catches the ball. Chuba's out. Moore's a good pick. This
I see where you went with that. By the way, throw more to more.
Yeah, I get it. Throw more to more. Okay, here's another one: Pierce or Woods and Najee or Henderson. Ooh, I don't like Najee at all. That line, they don't use him.
What the hell happened to him? Yes, that line. The
OC,
the coordinator there. What's his coordinator's name? I forget his name. Matt Canada. Oh God, what is going on there? I am shocked. Honestly, I am very surprised that what's his name? The coach there, Tomlinson, has not let him go, bro. He's messing him up, man. Tomlinson's never had a losing record, and he's going to have one. This is it.
Yeah.
And, I get the quarterback situation isn't the best. You got a rookie guy going in there. You already benched Trubisky. I get it, but man, like sometimes you got to see like the OC's just not working with these guys, right? It's just not. It's not clicking.
And
you got to move
for a
on.
few years. Like,
yeah, you got to move on.
He's playing that pop gun offense with Big Ben too at the end. So me personally, and when you say Woods, are you talking about Robert Woods, Pierce, or Robert Woods?
I think he's talking about Robert Woods.
Okay, if he's talking about Robert Woods, I would go with Pierce over Robert Woods because I don't trust. It's going to be Malik Willis this week most likely, as Tannehill's coming back from an ankle injury, and I don't, I think they're going to run a bunch, and Pierce doesn't have the greatest, setup this week against the defense. I'd still take Pierce, and then I would take Henderson over Najee. Henderson is the back in LA. No, they don't use him a bunch. He's not a super high upside guy, but I would trust McVay over Matt Canada. So I would go with Henderson over Najee, and I'd go Pierce over Woods. Howie?
Yeah, I like Henderson and Pierce. And I really like Pierce with Malik in there.
Especially going against Philly.
Yeah,
Philly's defense too.
Run pretty good.
Yeah. I'll go with you guys. I agree with that because Najee hasn't been right this season, and that's, like I said, probably due to play calling. Then you're going against Philadelphia in Philly. They've been pretty good on defense. I would not, and that's sad because Najee Harris was probably on a lot of draft boards early.
He went number 2 in our league,
right? So, I mean, I don't blame anyone who picked him. Like that dude is a stud. I still say, and Najee Harris, if used right.
I don't understand why I don't throw it to him more.
I don't know.
It's crazy. Big money comes in. Prayers for Najee. yes. Tell Matt Canada gets out of there. They're in trouble. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the Rams-Niners. We're going to go Bengals at Browns. We have Burrow, Mixon, Higgins, Boyd, and Hurst, who is questionable. No Jamar Chase. Then we have Chubb, Hunt, Cooper, and the defense. And there's injuries on both sides on the defense here. So, Howie, we'll start with you. What are you expecting out of this Bengals-Browns game?
I think Cooper and Boyd and Higgins are going to get a lot of play. It's going to be where they playing and what's the weather going to be like.
I have no idea what the weather's like, but they're playing in Cincy. In Cleveland. They're playing in Cleveland.
In Cleveland.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
probably just a 40 because I'm in Michigan, which is I'm here in Michigan. We're at right now, we're like literally an hour away.
Jonathan Taylor.
We are money. Yeah, we're at 50 degrees today.
Oh, that's good.
So it's probably gonna be a 55, 60 degree day over there, which is a beautiful day.
Okay. That'll be a good day for throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're going to see more of. You
think they're going to throw the ball a bunch there?
I think both teams are. I mean, they got running backs, both of them.
I mean, would you throw the ball with Jacoby Brissett? Really?
Why not?
Calm down.
Why not?
Oh, sorry, guys.
So okay.
You guys.
Yeah. No, I know. You're talking to your dog. I heard him. We're good.
Just calm down. Well, you too. You both.
Yeah.
Both of you as well.
Calm down. I know. I get a little fired up sometimes. So here I expect the Bengals to mop up the Browns. I actually sat down Chubb this week and went with Josh Jacobs in his place. Even though Chubb's a leading rusher in the NFL, I also have a feeling that Hunt's going to get showcased this week because they're going to try to trade him before the trade deadline. He's on his expiring deal. I have a feeling you're going to see a little bit more Hunt this week to showcase him and then try to move him off to get something because they're going nowhere fast in Cleveland.
Yeah, they know that. I think they're
5.
Yeah, I think they were hoping to maybe have a little bit better of a record and maybe
500.
Get Watson back and maybe creep into the playoffs. But I will say though, you still never know. As bad as AFC's been, you still never know at this point. But I have a feeling you're right. They lose this game this week, which they're going to. I think.
Wow.
They're going to start dropping players and start doing a rebuild around Watson, and they're going to need pieces. And that Hunt is going to probably want he's a starting running back. He's going to want starting money. He's going to go around and find a contract. And why not get something for him now? But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna go Cincinnati on this one.
Yeah,
I just think
okay.
I think they're too deep in the passing game. Burrow is even though Burrow's under pressure like crazy, still can't get it right. He's even with Chase out, they still got Boyd, they still got Higgins, they still got Mixon. They got weapons. And yeah, and Cleveland's just been playing garbage football. And that's the way it's been in Cleveland. And it doesn't matter if it's in Cleveland, right? Yeah. Where the elf is. So Cincinnati will win.
Oh, here's a great one.
That's a tough one.
Who would you start? And I'll go with Tommy first. Who would you start? DJ Moore or Brandon Ayuk for my flex?
I'm going to go Ayuk. I trust the quarterback a little bit more than I would trust quarterback PJ over Walker. Carolina. Yeah. Though he had a PJ Walker played decent last week. He played pretty good game
when they beat.
He did, but I with Debo out especially, I'm gonna go Ayuk on this one.
Howie,
I like Ayuk. I also want to address the message we had right before that. The guy he drafted Najee first and Akers third, and he's still 7-0. Yeah, he must be playing the game.
Yeah, must be. Well, the rest of your team must be stacked.
I bet you he jumps on the waiver wire and he looks for people. I mean, I do it every day.
That is the key.
You know what?
That is the key to fantasy football, man.
Every single day.
Yeah, I am a free agent monster, bro. You have to be. Yeah. You have to
monster.
Be
I don't know if I might call you a monster.
I am
a free agent player.
I am a monster. I look at my team. Everybody there is like free agent guys. Like I have to, but I've done that all. Listen, every season, I'm always looking for that guy because I'm telling you, man. Sometimes it is that one guy that can propel you to the championship that you add. Like I added St. Brown last year. Yep. Midway, and man, he was a killer at that second half of that season. So there's guys out there that like Boyd. I added Boyd. Like how many fantasy football leagues was Boyd probably out there?
I think he was in. I think he was only. I think Matthew Berry said he was only in about 40% of leagues originally.
Last week. Right, yeah, I'm talking about before Chase. Right, so that's still not 40%. This is not bad. Like he was there for Pickens on a lot of
60% of leagues still needed him. By the way, I'll tip my cap to you on this because this is fantastic, Thomas. But going back to this question that Cletus had, you guys both said Ayuk. I'm going to go DJ Moore, and here's why I'm going to go DJ Moore. Ramsey is going to have to shadow somebody there. I have a feeling it's going to be Ayuk, and I trust that Ramsey's going to shut down Ayuk, so it's going to be a Jennings and Kittle and CMC show, and they're going to take Ayuk away. And DJ Moore is the main target in Carolina. So me personally, I'm going DJ Moore based off the matchup, the player matchup. Ayuk seems to be the betting favorite of who you want to go with
this week.
Yeah, yep.
I would have flipped the coin anyway with this one.
Yeah, I would go DJ Moore based off. I have a feeling Ramsey's going to see Ayuk a lot. So it all depends on how you feel about Ramsey. Okay, here we go. Here's another one that came in. Dameon Pierce or Pollard at flex. Oh, we talked about that one already.
Yeah, we did that one.
Oh, my thing went all the way back up. My bad. My thing went all the way back up. Okay. Ooh, here's one for Tommy. He's going to love this. Singletary or James Robinson?
Yeah, and I wonder who he's going to pick.
Come on, man. Motor Singletary all day, baby. No, honestly, I'm going to go Motor Singletary. Not just because he's an awesome player, but because I think now they're starting to see that Zach Moss is not the answer in Buffalo, and they're not going to be doing the rep thing that they've been doing the first 5 games until the Chiefs game, where you saw a little bit more Singletary being used. And I think that, and I'm hoping that Ken Dorsey is going to start getting him those 15 carries a game, which I wanted. That's where you'll start seeing the production. However, only thing bad about Singletary, I will say, is the touchdowns. He just doesn't get a lot of them. He doesn't. And that sucks. Like, that sucks for a fantasy note. But you can also count on him on the passing game. as well. Like Josh Allen's been he was our leading receiver one week. He was our second one another. So
last week against KC, he had 20 total touches. He had 17 carries and then 3 catches.
Yeah, so over 100 production. So he had 10 points. I mean, that's nothing to write home about. And now, if he scores a touchdown, then get you to 16, then you're looking good. So, but it's just the touchdowns come very few for him, and that's the only bad thing. But I'm still going to go with Singletary just because he's my boy. But yeah. I'm going to go Singletary because I think he's going to be used a little bit more as well. I'm not so much about James Robinson.
Howie?
Okay. I like Singletary, but he's in an offense where it's a pass first offense. They're not really a running gun type offense, and they got a ton of weapons. So he's got to get his share of points. On the other hand, Robinson just got there this week. I mean, if this is for this week, Robinson just got there this week, and he's a little bit banged up. So I can't see him really being part of the offense this week. So I would have to go with Singletary too.
I would go with Singletary as well, only because Saleh had come out and said he's not sure how much James Robinson's going to play or when he'll make his debut.
Yeah.
There you go.
If James Robinson was going to play and they said he was going to play, I would have went that way, only because the Bills tend to throw more than run, and they don't trust the pass game in New York or New Jersey or whatever you want to call them nowadays. James Robinson will probably get more touches down the line, but for this week, Singletary.
Right.
Here's another one that came in from Nezzy. Start Tua or Burrow this week? Oh, man. Tua's got a prime matchup.
Against a bad defense. Yeah.
It's a real bad defense.
But Burrow's also playing not the greatest.
Burrow's got the hot hand, man. He scored 50 points.
Right. I know. Yeah. But he's also missing a main target, Howie, though.
Yeah, but
he is. So you're going to take away a little bit.
He's got so many other. Well, okay. To answer the question, I would go Burrow over Tua. I just think he's still got all his weapons. Tua's got Waddle and Tyreek, and he's playing against a bad defense. But Burrow is just kicking ass lately. I would have to go with him, even if I own Tua. If I had them both, I'd start Burrow this week.
I'm gonna go Burrow because I don't know if Tua. First of all, you don't know if Tua's going to complete a game ever. That's the scary part with Tua, honestly. And the Lions still bring the heat. They do bring a lot of sack cover blitzes, and their rookie Hutchinson, man, I'm telling you, that dude's going to be a beast in this league. And that dude comes at you, man. He hits you hard. And Dolphins' offensive line isn't the greatest, and the Lions do bring the blitz. And everyone knows Tua does not get out of the pocket very well. He is not a scrambler. So I believe Tua is going to take some really nasty hits in this game. Very interesting to see if he even makes it. I'll be honest with you, makes it through. And that's what's kind of why I'm going to go to Burrow as well, because I don't know if Tua even makes it through the whole game. And Burrow has been on a hot streak. Even with Chase out, he still has some dangerous weapons. It's going against a bad Cleveland team as well. So I'm gonna go Burrow. But listen, if Tua completes that game could be a high scoring game. It could be very close. I don't know if you can go wrong with either guy.
Okay,
but Tua could get hurt.
Reading this next piece that he has, where he says he has Tyreek and he can stack that. It's a gamble to go with Tua for the fact that you never know if he's going to finish a game. The Lions have one of the worst defenses in football. It's hard not to go with him and bet.
That's right.
You have a super high ceiling with Tua, but a really low floor with Tua. You have a high floor and a high ceiling with Burrow. So it really depends on what you're most comfortable with. Do you have a lead in your league? Are you up a game or two? If you're up a game or two, you take the chance and you go with Tua. If you're battling and you need to make sure you get points because you're going up against someone who can put up points, then you go with Burrow as a safe play.
Exactly.
So really, there's a lot more that factors into it, but having that Tyreek Tua connection is going to be big this week, especially against a really bad defense. But Burrow, you know what you're getting from him. You're going to get anywhere from 20, depending on if it's what type of league it is. If it's a PPR league, chances are you're getting anywhere from 25 to 35. And if he really goes off with Tua, you can get 15, 16, but you can also get 45. And it falls into what situation you fall in. If you have that lead and you can gamble, take it, because that could pay off. It's like playing the lotto with Tua.
Yeah,
He's 5-2, but Bateman got him a 0. Ooh, Bateman got you a 0. Burrow's going to get you points. He's the safe play. So it comes down to how much you want to gamble. Tua has an extremely high ceiling, and it's a boom or bust for him this week.
Yeah,
Burrow's going to get you solid points. So it's really how comfortable you are with your team. Me personally, I'm a gambler. I would have probably gone Tua. These both guys said they'd go Burrow. So up to you, buddy.
Even with the stack, I'd go with Burrow. I mean, if you're playing a guy that you're going to beat by 20 or 30 points, and you want to go out and have some fun and have that sexy stack, which is always nice, but go with the points.
Tua tried to throw 4 picks last week to a really bad Pittsburgh defense.
We talked about that earlier. You could go Tua and Tyreek. First of all, he throws everything to Waddle and then throws 4 interceptions, and you get nothing. Whereas Burrow is going to throw to everybody on his team, and you're going to get all those points. Yeah. So I would stay away from the stack and just go for it.
Yeah, I mean he gives you the high floor. Burrow's the safe play. Big Money says, I saw that the PJ Walker has top 3 biggest blowouts in Panthers history. Correct me if I'm wrong. He just crapped on Tampa Bay for the 3rd blowout. Yeah, you're not wrong. Thomas comes in and says, I have Irv Smith and Tanyan on my bench. Gesicki is sitting on the waiver wire. Who of these 3 is worth a roster spot? I hate tight end carousel. I think it's Tanyan and Gesicki, personally. Howie likes Irv Smith more than I do. But me personally, I'd go Tanyan and Gesicki. We'll go Tommy.
I'm same thing. I'm with you.
Gesicki would be my starter, unless if I had to choose one of these 3. Gesicki would be who I would start every week.
Every week, out of those 3.
Yeah. Howie, your thoughts?
I like Irv, and I like.
Do you like him season long or just this week?
No, I like him season long. Tanyan, Tanyan's a good tight end, but I got questions about Aaron Rodgers. Is this his last year? Does he give a shit anymore? He's pissed off at everybody on his team. The micro mushrooms aren't working. I don't know.
He's gonna have a right. Yeah, he's.
That's what makes me shy away from Tanyan. It makes me shy away from everybody but Aaron Jones on that team. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see that. So really, either way, you could choose whatever one you feel most comfortable with, but go get Gesicki from off the waiver wire.
Yeah, if he's there, grab him.
The best of the 3.
Yeah, if he's there, grab him.
Okay, so let's keep moving through. We're gonna go into sit-start this week. So who would you start? We'll start with Tommy. Etienne versus Denver or Pierce versus Tennessee?
Denver's defense is pretty good.
Denver's defense is really good. It's keeping them in games.
Yeah. I'm going to say Pierce just because of the matchup. But you said, Tennessee is a good defense. I'm still going to go. I'm going to go Pierce just because of that, though. I still think that's tough. That's a toss-up. I like Etienne, though. Like, Etienne has some big plays as well.
He can just take one carry and take it.
I get it. Or get you 40, 50. I mean, one play. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, I'll still stick with Pierce. I'll still with Pierce.
All right. Yeah. Howie, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Pierce because I think that 2-headed dragon, Am and Malik, is going to, they're going to be able to. Nobody's going to know where the ball's coming from. So that's who I'd go with. I like Etienne. He's got the offense now. It's his. His backup. We'll talk about his backup later, but nobody's ever heard of him except for probably you. And so he, like I said, he owns it. But Denver does have a good defense. So I'm going to go with Pierce just because of that running game between him and Willis.
All right.
And he really does, by the way, Mikey, he really kind of reminds me of CJ Spiller. They're very, very close.
So much.
I mean, they are, because CJ would have those games too. Like if you look at CJ Spiller's like history when he was with the Bills, he had some good games where he had some really breakout running games, but then he had games where it was like nothing. like that was CJ Spiller. He's boom or nothing, right? Boom or bust. And I think that's what ATN because of that speed will be like that. I don't know if he'll ever be that true like RB1 back. I could be wrong, but I think I could see his career going like a Spiller career, which isn't bad. I could see that for him.
And I would go ETN this week. One, I don't like Pierce's matchup against Tennessee. Tennessee has a really good defensive line. Although Denver has a really good defense, I can see more of him in the pass game than Pierce in the pass game. But that's just me. We did have a question that came in. Big Money Joe asks, Tonyan has one good game versus Jets because the offense goes through the tight end because the Jets have great corners. With that said, thoughts on Hunter Henry? I don't trust Hunter Henry at all. I don't trust any of the Patriots players. They're not even sure who their quarterback is. They don't know if they want Mac Jones or if they want Bailey Zappi, and neither one of them are great. Howie, I'll leave this question to you, buddy. You're non-biased. The most non-biased one here, as I'm a Bills fan.
Well, let's see. So the question is between Tonyan and.
No, they want to know what your thoughts on Hunter Henry.
I don't really have any thoughts on Hunter Henry. He hasn't crossed my radar all year. So I have to give up. I have to punt on that one. I'm sorry.
Tommy, your thoughts on Hunter Henry?
Hunter, what's the matchup there? I'm sorry.
No. He said Tonyan only had one good game, so they want to know what the thoughts are going forward about Hunter Henry with the Patriots. Do you expect him to be part of? Like, I don't trust Zappi or Mac.
He has not had a good second season with the Patriots, and he was supposed to be. Like he had a decent season last year, Hunter Henry, for the Patriots. So, but the problem is that quarterback carousel now. Like, what are they doing over there in New England? Very interesting to see what they do, because I believe Mac Jones is starting this week, but for how many quarters? Like what is going on? Is he going to pull him when things are going good again? And then you got to have. Like, you got to have a connection. Like, does Zappi have a connection? It doesn't seem like it right now. It seems like Zappi's more going to the receivers. He has a little bit more connection with them. And I think Mac Jones had the connection with the tight ends more. So really it depends who's starting at this point when it comes down to the tight end position, because I think both quarterbacks do something different, right? Like, they like what they like. And yeah, I right now I don't trust Henry because of that, just because of that situation.
I'll tell you. I'm looking at Fantasy Pros, which is a subscription that I pay for. Hunter Henry ranks 21st amongst all fantasy tight ends. Behind Noah Fant, Jawan Johnson, Cade Otton, Mike Gesicki, Greg Dolch, Evan Ingram. Like, it's the outlook on him isn't great this year.
No, it's not.
When you look at Robert Tonyan, he sits between
paying him money too.
10 and 13 every week. So is he an elite tight end? No, he'll get you some points. Hunter Henry is just like not on anybody's radar. So that's just our thoughts on him.
And you're paying him good money too, Bill.
Paying him and Jonas Smith good money.
I know. Oh, Bill.
So okay, so let's keep moving on. We'll start with Howie this time. Najee Harris at Philly or David Montgomery at Dallas?
Yeah. God, that's just a terrible choice. Dallas is really tough. Eagles are really tough. Let's see. Flip a coin. I'm gonna go with Montgomery.
Okay.
I don't think either one of them are gonna do. I wouldn't start either one of them if you've got options.
Oh,
Tommy.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go Montgomery as well. I just don't like what's going on in Pittsburgh. I don't like how they're using Najee. But that's in Dallas too. But Chicago looked okay last week versus a tough New England defense. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that one.
It's a clean sweep. I'd go with Montgomery too. Najee against that vaunted Philly D line. They don't give up running runs. That defense is really good. I would go with Montgomery. There was a question that came in from Cletus asking who should he start, the 49ers or the Broncos defense this week? Tommy, we'll start with you.
Okay, so let me look at the matchup. Let me look at everything before.
Okay, then I'll go to Howie. Howie, we'll start with you.
Okay. Oh, I like the Niners against the Rams. I mean, unless Cup lights up, I can't see the Niners losing this game.
I'm the opposite. I like
I'm gonna
the
go Broncos.
Yeah, I like the Broncos more. First off, the Jags have been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a London week or a overseas week, which means the defense usually has the advantage. And the Broncos have a great freaking defense. Like their defense is the reason why they've stayed in games.
Yep.
Me personally, I've recently picked up the Broncos in fantasy as to be my defense because they have a higher floor than the 49ers. The 49ers have probably a bigger ceiling, a higher ceiling. But I'll take the higher floor over the higher ceiling from a defense.
Yeah. I agree with that. Broncos overseas. Jacksonville has been struggling. They're actually doing good for a couple weeks. They're putting up some major points, but they've been struggling as of late. Denver, their defense is scrappy. They got a good D line. Yeah, I'll go Denver on this one.
Okay. And we appreciate it, Big Money Joe. He says he's a great show, fellas. Moving on, we have Eno Benjamin at Minnesota, Michael Carter against New England, or Brian Robinson Jr. at Indy. We'll go with you, Tommy. So Eno Benjamin at Minnesota, Michael Carter against New England, or Brian Robinson Jr. at Indy.
I'll go Carter. Because I don't know if they're going to have the Robinson available yet, or even if he'll be playing a lot of snaps right away. I think you got to remember too. Zach Wilson's been going through passing to a lot of running backs. At least Breece Hall was involved a lot, and I think now he'll take on that Breece Hall role for now, and they're going to run Michael Carter. So I'll go Carter on this one.
Okay, Howie.
Well, my notes say to pick Carter, but I'm going on the Eno train this week. I'm hanging with Eno all the way through.
All right.
Man.
Me personally, I'm leaning Brian Robinson Jr. Just from a defensive standpoint. Minnesota and New England have a better defense than Indy. Brian Robinson seems to be picking up steam week after week, coming back from that gunshot wound. I'm going with the high ceiling or the high ceiling, lower floor this week. I would. I believe Michael Carter has the highest floor of the bunch. Eno is the wild card. Brian Robinson has that super high ceiling. I'm going to go with him. Okay, so switch over to receivers. We got David Moore at Atlanta, which we've talked a lot about, or DJ Moore at Atlanta, which we've talked a lot about, or Christian Kirk against Denver. Howie, we'll start with you. DJ Moore, Christian Kirk.
I'm going to go with Moore. You guys just went through how good Denver's defense is, so I'll take Moore. It seems like the easy one.
All right.
I think he's going to have a great week anyway.
Yeah, me too. I think DJ Moore's gonna have a really good week. Him and
I'm
PJ
gonna
Walker just seem to have this connection.
Yeah, I'll go Moore. I'm agreeing with you guys there.
Okay. I didn't when I put that question out there, it was talking a lot about DJ Moore today. So
right.
Amari Cooper versus Cincinnati, Olave against Vegas, or Pittman Jr. against Washington. Tommy.
Not Pittman, I could tell you that. I know nothing about their rookie quarterback, and it's his first game.
Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, and it's his first game. Listen, he's going to go through his rookie bumps. He's going to make some rookie mistakes. So and it's not like Pittman's even been lighting it up, anyways, even with a veteran quarterback. So, what was the other guys you said? I'm trying to remember. So I scratched Pittman out.
So no Pittman. So the other ones were Cooper versus Olave.
I'll go Cooper on this one, even though God, there's some people. I'll go Cooper just because Cooper would be. Listen, if Cooper had a good quarterback, he would be a top dog, one of the top receivers, fantasy receivers, top 10 at least. He would be up there. He's a good receiver, but he has Brissett throwing to him. But he's still his top target. He's still his top target. So I'll go that. I'm gonna lead to Cooper.
Okay. All right, Howie.
I like Cooper. I think he's about the only guy, well, aside from the running backs, that I'd start for Cleveland. But I'm going with Olave. He's the number one rookie receiver. He's the only guy in town right now. Thomas is down. Landry's down. Kamara is
on the block.
They're
talking about trading him.
Yeah. So I mean, right now Olave is it. Him and let's see what Taysom Hill throws in there this week. But
yeah.
If I got to go with those three, Olave, hands down.
I'll go with Olave, as Oakland's defense isn't as good as Cincinnati's defense. I think Brissett and Andy Dalton are about the same as a quarterback, right? So it goes to which one has a better matchup, and I like Olave's matchup better, and I like Cooper's matchup. Moving on down, Dawson Knox versus Green Bay or Mike Gesicki against Detroit. This was pre us talking about Gesicki.
I would love to say Dawson Knox. I'll say it first.
Oh, Tony!
No!
Mark the calendar.
I would love it, and watch me be wrong. By the way, because I picked against my Buffalo Bill tight end, but Gesicki just has such a favorable match. He does. That Lions defense is terrible, and Green Bay's defense isn't like top notch, but they're not bad. They're not bad. I think they're in the middle of the pack. But the way Knox has been used, right? He finally got his first touchdown. He just, we'll see. I still believe in him, and it's just one of those things right now where it's, they're not going to him a lot. They're using him more as a blocker. They're using him more for other stuff, which is fine, but it's not fine for if you're owning like he's on my fantasy team. So Gesicki just has a much more favorable matchup. And he could get you multiple touchdowns, where Dawson Knox, even if he does get you touchdowns, probably going to be one. I think Gesicki can get two at least, and then he'll have the yards too.
You're getting a standing ovation from Howie, Tommy.
You're legit in the
I have to.
Go. All right.
It's a fantasy show, not a Bill show.
That's what I've been saying. It's a fantasy show.
Attaboy.
People
Tommy.
watch this to win their leagues,
Attaboy, Tommy. Howie, obviously, I know you're going, guys. Gesicki. We did have another question that came in. Chris comes in and asks, trade Ayuk and Dylan to get ETN.
Who else you got? I wonder who else they got. Obviously, he's got a supporting cast. I'd do it. If I had a decent supporting cast.
If you have better receivers,
Dylan's a backup.
Yeah,
Dylan's
if you have better
backup. Yeah, and you've got somebody that's better than Ayuk. Yeah, get at ATM because he's going to catch balls too.
Exactly. He's a double threat. I would do the trade as well. If you have receivers.
Yeah, if you have other receivers. Because ETN is better than Dylan for the rest of the season out. So it comes down to who you have to replace Ayuk. If you have, because Ayuk's going to be the number one there for the next few weeks. And when I say number one, I mean receiver. The number one option is going to be CMC and Kittle. So he's really the number three. However, ETN has such a high upside.
Right.
If you have a receiver that can replace Ayuk's production, go out and look on the waiver wire, see who's out there. I mean, when I say wide receiver, I'm looking for a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 production, because that's what Ayuk is going to give you.
This guy's stacked with receivers. Look at his receivers. You kidding me? Yeah, make that trade.
Oh, absolutely make that trade. You had Davis, Jefferson, Boyd, and Cooks. Absolutely. Make that trade now.
Right. Yeah. Before he changes his mind, you know what I mean?
God. I hope that guy isn't watching the show because he's
right.
Hey, wait a minute.
Appreciate the sub, Chris. We'll be here every Saturday. Come on over. We'll answer any questions that you got. All right. So with that, we will move on down into Howie's Deep League Diggers for this week. Howie, who you got?
Okay. Well, I had this guy last week, but I'm going to go with him again. Dante Foreman from Carolina. He had a really good week last week. Chuba is out, and he's the man now with CMC gone. So there's one of them if you're looking for a running
So
back.
just to get there, and if you want to handcuff Donta, Blackshear, Raheem Blackshear is the RB2 with him out.
Right.
He got 2 carries last week. He got negative yards, but the kid is explosive. He was on Buffalo's practice squad, played really good in the preseason. He's their kick returner. He's got explosion. So if Donta is picked up, because he's probably picked up in a lot of leagues, and you want to just take a flyer, I mean, this is deep. This is like 12 to 15 team leagues.
Yeah.
You want to take it deep. Raheem Blackshear is a flyer guy you can take. So Howie, sorry, move on to you.
Okay. All right. The next guy I got, now that Etienne's the man in Jacksonville, I've got his backup, Jermichael Hasty. You might want to, if you've got room, put him in there because Etienne's going to get the full brunt now, and he goes down, you'll have him in your pocket.
And Jermichael Hasty comes from the Tennessee Volunteers. He also played a few seasons in San Francisco as RB3 and special teamer. So he has experience.
Yeah. Another guy I like is Greg Dulich from Denver. He's taken over. He's just completely taken over the tight end position there. So if you haven't got him yet and you need a tight end, that's a good one. If you're also looking for a quarterback this week, just a one and done for your bye week, I'm really high on Malik Willis.
Malik Willis, okay.
I think he just got a good matchup. He runs a lot of running with the ball, so he would be someone I would pick up. So those are my 4 guys for this week to go grab.
I'm not high on Dylan, Chris, down the stretch because he's in a timeshare with Jones. So I mean, go with what your gut is. If you're high on Dylan, Dylan is sees probably 10 touches a game right now, and they're still not running the ball a ton. Would I do Ayuk for Pollard with your receiver set? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's the better timeshare back to have anyways because he has the big play potential. But it's you gotta go with what you want. Go with whatever you feel most comfortable with. But I'm not real high on Dylan. The Packers don't run a whole lot, and he's in a timeshare with Jones, who's actually the better of the 2 backs. Just my take.
Well, and he
says ETN owner unlikely to accept the other trade offer. Yeah, that's fine. Throw it out there, or you could even take one of your other receivers because you have so many. Throw in Cooks. Try, then you have Gabe Davis, Jefferson Boyd. Throw in Cooks as the other one rather than Ayuk. He's the wide receiver 1 in there. See if he'll take something like that.
Yeah, and your bye weeks are already covered there, so you don't have to worry about losing them.
That's right.
Just an idea. And and getting Pollard's not a bad thing because Zeke's starting to get. He accepted it right away.
Grabbed him good.
Pollard is not a bad one to own. First off, this week, make sure you get him in your lineup.
He's going to go off
because
this week.
There is no Zeke. He's nursing a knee injury.
Yeah. And he's been their better back, to be honest with you.
He's more explosive. He's not as good as pass protections, but he's a better fantasy back right now.
Exactly. Yep. Good
job. That's a good trade. Did they steal someone?
100%.
Okay, so sorry, Howie. That was there. Howie's hot pepper challenge this week. Who do you got?
Okay, here's my boy. I'm rolling with him this week. Eno Benjamin, 100 yards and a touchdown.
100 total yards?
100 total yards and a touchdown.
Total and a TD.
Woo! That'll get you 16, maybe more than 16 points.
Yeah, it depends if you're in a PPR league. If you're in a PPR league, you might catch a few.
You might get, if he's in a PPR, he might get 20 points.
It's going to get cold. Not too many people are going to want to tackle Dylan. And Big Man Joe, I don't disagree with you there. My issue with Dylan is his usage, the way they use him there. Right. LaFleur's not using that running game the way he should. They're still stuck in this pass.
He's a great back to have on your team, as a team winner. But for fantasy, he's almost useless. He really is. He's only good for 4 to 7 points a game. I mean, I guess if you're in like a really big 14 team league or something, he'd be somebody I have. But like we're in an 8, and I wouldn't touch him in an 8. I had him a little while in our 10, and he still didn't score me any points.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll have him as a handcuff to Jones because I've got Jones, and it just and unless you've got him as a handcuff, I don't think he's worth anything in fantasy right now.
So Thomas is in a half PPR league, Howie, Tommy, and he wants us to pick 3: Pickens, London, Devonta Smith, Miles Sanders. I'm going Sanders.
Yep.
Pickens, and probably London. Devonta is a high ceiling, but he's actually probably more along the line of weapon number 3 or 4 because they have AJ Brown, who's their number 1.
You got to pick 2. He said.
He came back and said actually pick 3.
Oh, okay.
In the next comment. Okay. So picking 3, I would go Pickens, who's obviously the number 1 in Pittsburgh. London, who is one of the top rookie targets, and Miles Sanders, who's I have a feeling is going to gets more touches than Devonta will. So I would go Pickens, London, Sanders. Howie, we'll go to you.
I'd go Pickens, London, and Smith.
Okay. Do you have a reason for Smith over Sanders?
Just I like a receiver over a running back when it comes to PPR.
Okay, and it's a half PPRs, but yeah.
No,
Tommy, for you?
Yeah, I'm with you, Mikey. Sanders, Pickens, London.
Okay, because Sanders also catches the ball out of the backfield.
Correct. Yep.
So, just our take. Go with whatever your guts. I would definitely go with Pickens and London. Both of us, and then it's flip a coin on what Eagles guy you want to go with, whoever you're most comfortable with.
Right.
If it matters, QB is Hurts. Oh, he has Hurts as the QB, so he can get the stack either way with either one of those guys. I wouldn't go with both of them. I would not go with both of them. I would still go with the other 2 guys, Pickens and London, and then choose whoever you feel most comfortable with. If you have another great wide receiver, go with Miles Sanders. If you have other great backs, go with Devonta Smith. Cletus comes in and says, rate my fantasy team. He has Allen and Tua, Kamara, Singletary,
It's great.
Robinson.
It's great.
As soon as you have Allen, you're good. You have Kupp.
You're good. You're golden, brother.
Jefferson, Moore, Ayuk, Waller, Higbee, Ayuk. You have a fantastic fantasy team.
I don't like his
the running backs are shaky.
Weak.
Shaky. I have one of them, Kamara, who it sucks because he shouldn't be shaky.
If he truly is dealt, that could be a
depending on the team he's dealt to.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Mikey, on that. If he's dealt, whoever he's going to, if they are a team that runs heavy, good offensive line, Kamara could be huge going down the stretch. No doubt about it. But right now, if he's not dealt, Saints are they are not using him right. They're using Hill in the red zone more, which is taking away from Kamara, which sucks for fantasy owners. Singletary, like I said earlier, I think he's going to get more snaps. I think he's going to get more carries, but he's not a touchdown guy. He's not a red zone guy, and that takes away from points. So your running backs right now are tough, but with Allen, Tua, and Allen already did his bye week.
Yeah.
So really, you don't even need Tua. You could probably
might be able to deal him.
Deal him for a running back. I'll be honest with you, because somebody would take him. I mean, depending on the trade, and then your receivers are
Jim. Exactly.
If
you're not comfortable with Kamara, package 2 and Kamara.
Everybody
2 and Singletary.
Yeah.
To try to get
everything else is good. Exactly. Everything is good. But I would definitely.
And Waller
I would look to trade Tua. I would look to trade Tua because Allen already had his bye.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason to keep Tua stuffed there if you can get something for him. And you need a running back. I'll be honest with you. You need a running back.
And you could wait on the waiver wire for when Allen decides to run too many times and gets hurt. Finally.
Shut up! Don't you dare put that out in the.
That ain't happening.
I think he's too much of a stallion. They got to rein him in.
Don't you put that bad juju out there, Ricky Bobby.
RG3.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby, stop it! I'm gonna put you on timeout. Okay, let's move into the non-QB X factors, top scores. Mikey and Howie are tied at 13 points apiece. Tommy's at 11. We will start with Howie. Howie, who's your X factor of the week?
Pollard, Tony Pollard.
You're going Tony Pollard. Okay. Tony
Hey, the
Pollard.
dog likes it.
Nah, she hates it.
Tommy, I'll leave it to you, brother. Who's your X factor of the week?
Gabe Davis, baby. Gabe Mother and Davis. Man, that dude, I'm telling you, guys, is coming alive. And Brandon Bean better start getting that checkbook ready in a couple seasons because he's going to need to pay this dude. Dude's going to be a problem, man.
Okay. Right,
so Gabe Davis, yeah. I'm telling you, man, he's getting better. I still don't think, I think now he's finally 100%. And that's why I'm picking him. Because even the last 2 weeks, you see him getting better and better. But now he had the bye week, right? 2 weeks off. That ankle has to be feeling mighty good now. And you're at home against Green Bay. Man, I see a big game for Gabe Davis. I do. And he's our deep threat, by the way. He's our deep threat guy, which means big yardage, big points. Yeah. And he scores touchdowns on those. It's not like he's just going 1 catch, 40 yards, he's done for the game. He's going two catches, 150 yards and a touchdown. I'll take it. So, yeah, I'm going to go Gabe Davis.
The Bills seem to show up on primetime. They always do. Something about those lights they love. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs. He's been the hot hand. He's going into New Orleans. I think they're going to keep feeding him. So I'm going. By the way, breaking news: Willis is starting against Houston tomorrow. They are starting the rookie. So it just came across to the ticker.
Hey, pick him up. Pick him up.
Yeah, if someone needs a quarterback, I would definitely go with Malik Willis as because you're going to see a lot of running there.
Oh,
you got Henry. Yep. Okay, got another one that came in. Says Thomas. Sorry, another tight end question. Gesicki or Schultz? I'm heavy on Dallas exposure this week too, having Dak, Pollard, and Muir. I would go Gesicki. First off, he has a great matchup. 2, Schultz is banged up, and there's no guarantee he's going to play.
You did answer your question,
but I appreciate you asking the question, Thomas. Anytime. Gesicki has a great matchup against Detroit.
He does. Yeah. You have to take that matchup if you got Gesicki.
Cletus, happy to give you the advice, brother. We're here every Saturday. Come on back and ask anything you got.
Please do.
Hey, and thanks everybody for showing up tonight. Today was our best. I haven't looked at it yet, but as far as chats go, you guys brung it. Everybody.
That's right.
And today, I would say, guys, honestly, Howie, Mikey, today was our best show ever. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because you guys brung it in the chat. You made it more fun, exciting, and we have fun regardless. But man, it was really fun because you guys today. And that's what we love to see. So, hey, I think Saturdays at 1, we're sticking with. You guys keep coming back. We're going to keep 1:30. That's right. We changed it. That 30 minutes, man. That was it.
Huge difference.
No, but I appreciate you guys once again, man.
It says Cleveland says most of the guys in his league are very stingy on trades, but one guy's willing to trade. Has Etienne, Mixon, and Cook. Who should I trade for? Cook probably has a lower price tag right now because he hasn't done much. Etienne has the highest ceiling but the lowest floor. If I was you, depending on who you're gonna give up, I would go either for Etienne or Cooks. Mixon, they just don't tend to use him the way I think they should.
Yeah,
I love Mixon, and he was great, but he was great last year because he scored a bunch of touchdowns. He's not doing that this year.
Let's see what happens with Chase gone. Maybe he'll get a little more in the mixing.
So, but me personally, I would either go with Etienne or Cooks. I would shoot for Cooks if he's not willing to give him up. Plan B would probably be Etienne for me. Howie?
Yeah. I just traded Fournette for Cooks. No, I didn't. For Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, right?
Dalvin Cook. Is it? Okay.
I think he's talking about Dalvin Cook.
This is Cooks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's talking about because he's talking about running backs. I'm guessing he's saying
has to be
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
and they haven't really used him a lot this year, but I fingers crossed. I'm hoping I can get more out of him than I could for Fournette. It also cost me a draft pick, so
yeah.
Etienne's the hot new guy. He's the sexy look right now. But I'm big on infrastructure, so yeah, Dalvin Cook. I depends who you're trading for him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
So
Yeah,
I
I'm
would,
with you. Cook or ATN.
yeah,
Because
I'd
we
go
got
Cook.
we got the guy I made my trade with for Cook. He's the worst guy in our league to trade with. All he wants to do is screw you every single time. So just make a legitimate trade with him. Don't try to sucker him, and
Yep.
don't try to give away anything.
Yep.
You know, and let him counter.
Yep. So what I would do, and this is just my suggestion, if you're going to make him an offer, pick two guys that you could trade and say, hey, looking at Cooks, and I don't know if you have like text or if it's just one of those setup leagues. If it's one of those setup leagues, send the trade over like who you'd want, and then put in the notes, say, or this guy, and give him a secondary option, and then he can give him a counter. It tends to work when you're flexible. They tend to be more flexible in negotiation.
Yeah, if you give them only one option, they'll say no. But if you give somebody 2 or 3 options, they'll pick one.
They usually do. Because then they feel like that. It's not just a straight up thing. They feel like they control the deal.
Right. It's like if you're going to make an appointment with somebody, you say, "Hey, can you show up at 2?" No. Can you show up between this and this? And they'll go, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly."
So work with them. There's a lot of guys who just don't like to trade, and every time they make a trade, they think they got burned. But
last tight end question: Hunter Henry or Irv Smith? Irv Smith. I want no part of Hunter Henry. He's ranked 21 overall, and they have quarterback carousel right now. They don't know who they're. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. That's the running saying.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Irv Smith all day. Hunter Henry has not been productive at all this season, and it doesn't help now with the quarterback thing. What's going on? The carousel, the musical chairs, whatever you want to call it.
Neither one of them are great. Anyways, so
neither one are great, but yeah, it's just and both are different. Both are, Zappy. Yeah, they're just different kind of quarterbacks. So,
all right. With that, fellas, it's that time. We thank everyone in the chat. You guys were fantastic today. Gave us a lot to talk about outside of just my random, questions to the guys. This is kind of what we envisioned when we wanted to do a podcast, is have people come in and ask their questions, not just ours. Right. So for Tommy and Howie and myself, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Go Bills.
Have a happy Halloween.
Bills. Happy Halloween.
Go Bills.